welcome to our live stream. You're watching the Movie Couple Live. Happy Wednesday. Yes.
Yep.
Happy Wednesday and welcome to our live stream where we talk about the latest in movies and pop culture. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And on today's live stream, we're talking about X1. I already messed it up. Xbox. Oh, F it, we'll do it live. Xbox One Series sales saw a spike, but in the Xbox One X.
And Agatha Harkness teased for the WandaVision trailer.
Netflix cancels Dark Crystal, and so much more, all on today's live stream. Okay.
I think we do sound a little high-pitched.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch it.
Having sound problems again. This time, though.
I believe now we are back. Are we back? Well, you have a little bit of a
delay for it to catch up with me, but hopefully we got it all.
Okay, well, we can do that intro again. So today on the show, we're talking about Xbox One X Series saw a spike, but in the Xbox, wait, I'm confusing myself. That's why they shouldn't have so many X's in the name. The Xbox One X sales spike during the Xbox Series X pre-order.
And Agatha Harkness is teased in the WandaVision trailer.
And Netflix cancels Dark Crystal.
Oh, so mad about that.
So much more to talk about on today's show. How do we sound now?
From what I heard, yes, we are doing good.
I was like, are you seeing our sounds? Okay, anyways. It's always, this is literally the same setting I had in all the previous live streams when our sound have sounded fine. But then last week we sounded like we were on that heavier tone. So
you know what? Sometimes it's just rolling the dice and say, is our sound going to work today?
Why can't it just work? Anyways, you guys, happy Wednesday. Glad you're here. It's been a day. Dustin and I had an early morning. We probably will have another earlier one tomorrow. So we are going to be just working a lot through the day to kind of record some content, as I had mentioned last week on Saturday, that
we got some trailer reactions coming out. We've got some reviews coming out.
Yes.
So we're going to be busy for today and tomorrow.
Yeah. And I was saying, just because we're trying to kind of make sure that we have enough content scheduled, so that because we are away this weekend and we are not streaming on Saturday, just so we have some sort of content going up, which is why we're trying to work through all of today and most of tomorrow to make sure we have all of that set. So hello to everybody who's watching on Twitch, to TNEUI Goku. Hello and welcome. That's the Just Kiddings. There he is. Hello, how are you? Look at that little cute emoji, like the little cute. So you guys, for today's news flash, we've got quite a bit. So we will talk about kind of the main three topics later on the show, as we always do. But for announcements and stuff, we on Saturday will not be streaming on Saturday, but we will come back and stream next Wednesday. So we will see you all then. And in the meantime, you can go ahead and watch some of our other newer videos that will pop up throughout the rest of the week. The Lovecraft Country episode 6 spoiler review is coming soon. We watched it. We just haven't filmed it, but man, it's a really good episode. They're all
highly recommend this episode. This one was just really well. I really well directed.
Yes,
and I just really enjoyed it. I really loved the context of it, even though I have to admit it was a little hard for me to follow, simply because I have a hard time when there's a different language on, because my reading ability is very slow.
Yeah.
But it was still a good episode.
Yeah, because the captions were going pretty fast, and I was like, "Are you catching all of this?" While I was like, my K-drama heart was so filled. I was like, my world. We have a couple of super chats. One from Marvin Martin, who writes, "Thank you so much for your super chat. If the crystal split you in half, what would your Skeksis and Mystic selves be?"
I think my Skeksis self would be a little bit of a little of a spaz kind of a thing. He'd be all over the place because I think that would kind of be like the worst side of my ADD. So I would be kind of all over the place, very bouncy, very hyperactive. And I think my my mystic would probably be someone I would definitely want to be going out and like helping people to try to help people, you know, who are homeless, help people that are having drug addiction problem. I think that's kind of the mystic that I would want to be, is that very helpful, wanting to make other people's lives better. But the other part of me is kind of selfish and kind of
That's a really good question.
High energy.
Yeah.
So how would you split if the crystal
You're
of
asking
Wendy?
me? The Skeksis me will be full of rage, probably into killing people.
The Skeksis were really
because
into that.
they're like that. So I'm kind of like, because I have a lot of like anger and rage inside of me. But also the Skeksis would be like the most insecure of all Skeksis and always doubting themselves. And they try to mask that up with rage and anger. And then the mystic self, I would think that I would kind of in the vein of what you said, to want to help people and to fix things. I would want to fix the world, because I feel like that's a very Virgo thing to do, is just like, I want to listen, empathize, and then fix. No. And then I get mad if I can't fix something, if I can't fix someone's problem or something, and it really pisses me off, because I'm always like, there has to be an answer. Why isn't there an answer? And
your sketchy self will like, I'm going to make the answer.
I'm going to make the answer.
Whereas your mystic self would be like, I'm going to find the answer.
Yeah. I'll find the answer for you. Let's go on this journey. That would be, yeah, the probably the polar extremes if I were to split. Let us know what you guys are.
But I'm so bummed about the cancellation of Dark Crystal.
I get it.
I was so looking forward.
Don't talk too much about it, because that's for later.
Okay, fine.
It's for later.
Yes, I love Dark Crystal. I wished we could get more, but unfortunately, Netflix saw otherwise. And we will definitely dive into that later on in today's show. Another super chat from Chris. Thank you so much for Chris's choice today. Woo! Which Marvel character that we haven't yet seen on screen are you excited to see in the future? My number one is Adam Warlock. That is a good one, because we thought we were going to get Adam Warlock for a while.
Yep.
Right after Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I would love to see Moon Knight. Honestly, though, one of the things is that I thought Moon Knight would be a perfect fit for the Netflix group, you know, the Defenders group. I was like, oh, that you could so shoehorn him in there and have it be this nice fit. But, you know, it seems like they're going to be doing other things on Disney Plus for the Marvel group. So definitely, yeah, Moon Knight is one of them. That since we have not gotten to see him at all.
Yeah.
But it's starting to get, that list is getting smaller and smaller.
I know, they're adding
every day. More and more of these Marvel superheroes are becoming like, okay, well, which one that we haven't seen do you want to see? Well, I'm like, before Avengers, or after Avengers even, there was this huge list.
Yeah.
But now that list has gotten whittled down. So I'm happy to see them just start doing more and more and more. And some of these super obscure characters to get in there. I mean, heck, look what DC is doing to the Suicide Squad characters. I'm like, there's a super villain called Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man.
I did not know that.
Polka Dot Man. Every time I think of Polka Dot Man, I think of Schnepp. I really he'd be so happy.
Schnepp knew all about that.
When I was like, the what now? He's the Polka Dot Man. I was like, that's not a thing. He's like, it's a thing. And I was like, I know I shouldn't doubt him. Out of the both of us, he's definitely the expert in comics. But I was just like, that's okay, cool.
Because what is it? We're getting She-Hulk.
Miss Marvel.
We're going to be getting Miss Marvel. We're going to be getting. There's just so many of them that are coming out. So I'm kind of like, yay! The more the merrier.
Yep. We got a spammer on my Twitch chat, but I don't have my Twitch open, so I can't ban them. But it doesn't seem like they're spamming anymore. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's see. For me, if it's like anybody in Marvel, I would say Silk.
Oh,
I would say Silk.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, that would be a really good one.
And that's also part of the Spider-Verse. So I think it'd be really easy to kind of plug her in there.
Yeah. And going to the chat, a lot of you guys are saying Shang-Chi. I see Chloe Bennett's Quake in, I guess, on the big screen, because I wonder if they'll ever do that. She-Hulk Emplate? I'm not familiar with that, if that is
yeah, Marvin. Martin. Well, it was Marvin Martin, right?
There's somebody at our front door, so
okay.
Dustin's gonna check, and I will sit here and chat with you guys. So yeah, I mean, there is kind of, to what Dustin is saying, is that more and more we're getting more and more different characters now that kind of the chapter 1, book 1 of like the Avengers have ended, or have kind of come full circle. Now we can kind of get into the nitty gritties, and they can introduce them via the Disney Plus series, which is so good, because it's like if they're doing 8 episodes per series, and then we can just get more and more, and hopefully they can all interconnect, which means that like these series and the MCU can all cross over, and it's just going to be a really good time. I'm really excited about that. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Oh, okay. Marvin is clarifying Emplate. Am I saying that right? Emplate is a mutant vampire. Oh, what? Okay. Now I'm into it. That sounds really great. And then MK Songbird is saying that it was announced Silk live action series coming from Sony a couple of weeks back wasn't there. I thought that they were more focused on a Spider-Woman, but nothing was confirmed. So it could be Spider-Woman. It could be Silk. I would be happy with either or, but I would love to see Silk on screen as well. WandaVision for the short episodes is a 9-episode series. Everything okay?
Oh yeah, it was just a delivery. It was just a UPS delivery.
Oh, cool. Okie dokie.
So I looked outside and I was like, there's no one out there. There's probably a box in front of the door, kind of a thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Spider-Woman is another one that I overheard you, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be excited about them bringing out more and more and more. So.
More and more and more and more.
I only have 2 qualifications: lots and good.
Lots and good.
So
which is
bring
what
in as many as
for.
you can and make them good. That's all I care about.
And jumping into our lineup of Newsflash, which there was quite a lot, because I feel like for some reason there was just like a lot that I put in there. We're going to go ahead and talk about very quickly just a quick recap of the Emmys. So the Emmys happened this past Sunday, and I know it's Wednesday already, so this is essentially old news, but man, Schitt's Creek won big with 7 wins, with all the actors taking home their acting nominations, for the writing nominations. Watchmen with 4 wins. Congrats to Regina King and Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Like, so good to Zendaya, her win.
Oh, congratulations!
Being like the youngest actress to win in that category, which is fantastic. I was a little surprised that the Marvel's Mrs. Maisel didn't win anything, because they had won in the past. And I'm also sad that like shows such as What We Do in the Shadows and The Good Place didn't win.
I was so bummed about that too.
Yeah, but like, how do you, when you look at all the nominees, though, they're all really fantastic, and they're winners in my eyes.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
It's an honor just to be nominated. They did do that one. I can't remember who it was. I think it was for the show Rami. They like didn't win, so the hazmat Emmy suit delivery was outside with the Emmy statuette, and then when they announced it, it's like, sorry you didn't win, waved bye, and I was like, oh, burn.
That is like so
just
terrible.
Don't show. I guess like it kind of gives you like a like if you're an award show, like, could I open the door to receive? I didn't win. That's not mine.
I won. Oh, you went outside. You tackled the guy's hazmat. Give me my Emmy.
It doesn't belong to me, but I want to have my man. So anyways.
And then you just grab the Emmy and you just start beating them with. And it turned into a completely different kind of.
Then that's a whole different. The producer's like, keep it rolling. This is great. Oh my gosh. So the next topic up on our news flash. We're talking about new lightsabers from the Star Wars, The High Republic. So this is going to be published in a book. It's, I think, the Lightsaber Collection. You can find out more about this on starwars.com. But this is the, it's a sneak preview. This picture you're seeing is a sneak preview from Inside Editions, the Lightsaber Collection. And it's coming October 2nd. It's available for pre-order right now. You can see all the various civilized weapons, as Obi-Wan would put it. And this weapon specifically belongs to, I'm going to try to say his name right, Stellan Geos. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And I am like loving the look of this lightsaber.
Me
It's got
too.
the cross guard. It opens up. So, you know, we've seen a cross guard in obviously Kylo Ren's lightsaber, but this is also very, very reminiscent to obviously a broadsword and the way they will use it. And maybe their fighting styles will be a little different with this weapon.
And I have to admit, the handle on this is a little bit shorter than I had thought it would to be.
Here's more photos. I'm going to show Dustin the other photo.
Okay, maybe not.
With the pummel.
With the pummel on there, then yeah, that is a good two-handed style weapon.
It gives me a little bit, just looking at the hilt itself, if you take the shiny light out of it, it kind of gives me like Thundercats.
Oh, a little bit of Sword of Omens.
A little bit. It's the crossguard that's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really, really like it.
I kind of want that. I mean, just because it looks like the side guards will actually kind of go and like open up like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh.
So when you have it in your belt, it's all closed up, and then when you activate, it's like like a little blossoming flower. It just opens up. Yeah, that's really cool. I like how like elaborate and decorated it is compared to some of the other lightsabers we've seen like in like the time after this.
It really does.
More simple.
It really does look like the Temple Guards lightsaber, where it has that gold and white and a little bit of black mixed in there. And I just love the design of it.
Yeah.
And it just looks like one of and the fact that they're bringing out lightsabers from the High Republic just gets me more and more excited for whatever High Republic material they bring out, either in the theaters or they bring out on Disney Plus or comic books or novelizations. So I'm excited for this new lightsaber, just because it gives us a little bit of a tease, a little bit of a tickle, so to speak, about what's coming next.
And speaking of what is coming next for Disney, the Cassian Andor series just added Black Mirror alum director Toby Haynes to direct, and Toby Haynes directed the USS McAllister episodes, like that Star Trek-y one.
Oh yeah,
that was one of our favorite.
One.
Yeah, really, really good. And I am very excited to see what they can do with the Cassian Andor series, because if you saw Rogue One, you know what happens to Cassian, but where was he beforehand? And I want to kind of see maybe how he became, or just kind of his story leading up to that. If they're going to give us like an 8-episode series or something like that, or 10-episode series.
I would really hope that it would only be like a one
season. Yes.
Because you tell your story, get all the juicy details that you want in there, and don't drag it out.
Yes.
Honestly, I have to admit, when they said, oh yeah, we're going to be making a Cassian spinoff, I'm like, but we already know his end story.
Right.
We already know what happens to him. So it makes it
the origin story.
So it's going to be more. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an origin. It has to be an origin story. But I wasn't as excited about that. You know, when you hear about, there's going to be an Obi-Wan series, you get pumped. When you hear about The Mandalorian, we got pumped.
Right.
But there was some, it's kind of along the same lines of, we were doing, they did Solo, and we were like, okay, it didn't quite have the vibe to it. It didn't have that quite the excitement. And when I hear Cassian, I'm kind of like, okay, I'd much rather have more about the High Republic, or more about Obi-Wan Kenobi or Boba Fett, or some of those other characters that just have that cult following of Star Wars.
Whereas Cassian's a little bit newer to the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
Even though he is in like the, in an earlier timeline.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just enjoy the character so much that I would love to see a little bit more of it. But like you said, I don't feel like a Cassian series needs 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But like a 1 season to kind of, give us a little bit more into who he is and how he lived his life prior to meeting everybody in Rogue One.
Yeah,
would be interesting to take a look at, and I am all for, you know, Toby Haynes to come and direct a couple of episodes.
I think it would actually be kind of cool if you see his first scene in Rogue One, or like it's built like the end of his of the series that they're doing is him going to meet this agent that he ends up where we see Cassian for the first time in Rogue One.
Yeah. Ow.
So just that was something that was so cool about Rogue One, is how it did line up exactly with A New Hope.
Yeah.
So it just gave us that moment of, oh, okay, now we kind of know the backstory that leads up to that moment. So it doesn't really feel like a separate story. It feels more along the lines of a continuation of the story that we already know.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, you know, I think I just feel like the little bits of Star Wars that they can give us now is always good.
Yeah.
So and I happen to like the character, so I don't mind seeing it, but I do hear your points, and I see where you're coming from. And just to kind of throw it back to talking about our Chris's choice from earlier, MK Songbird says according to Variety, they do have an article out about Silk live action Marvel series in the works at Sony Pictures. And then Debbie chimed in and said Spider-Woman is the movie Olivia Wilde is doing is two totally different things. I thought they were kind of, because it's Sony properties, even though it's Marvel, it's still like all the Spider-Verse stuff.
Sony is going
to... So it's got a little confused. So thank you for clearing that up for
Sony
me.
is going to be bringing out anything they can with a Spider-Man logo
I love it.
And since they have the Spider-Verse, you know what? Go for it.
Yeah.
You nailed it on Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So keep that momentum going, Sony. We're happy to see any spiders that you want to bring in, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of spiders, we're talking about Black Widow, even though she is not related to the Spider-Verse. So Black Widow, and I don't imagine anybody is surprised about this at this point. I mean, we are almost in October. This year is almost over, like 2/3 of the way over, basically. Black Widow they were announced this morning that it is now pushed back to May 7th, 2021. Nobody is surprised. A little sad, but I like that if they firmly believe that this is a film that they don't want to put on Disney Plus, and I agree with that. I don't think they should put it on Disney Plus, and it should be in theaters. Then they might as well just push it all the way to May and let us just have a good time in the theaters. And that means a whole other, basically like a chain reaction ripple effect that a lot of other MCU movies have to, you know, move back and make room for it because of the way they have things planned out. That's totally okay. It just means 2021 is going to be a really great year for movie lovers, because I believe West Side Story is also pushed back until like a whole year, like next December.
West Side Story got pushed back a whole year.
Death on the Nile
got Candyman. It's one of those things that, you know what, and honestly, I know what happened. It was since they saw how not the low expectations, but the low
attendance, maybe
how much less money they made with Tenet. You know, Tenet was like, no, we're going out there and we're testing the waters. The sharks. And they got a little bit up, unfortunately, even though from what we've heard, it's gotten some pretty good reviews. It's gotten good and bad reviews. Yeah,
it's a little bit of mixed. I would say it errs on the side of like, maybe I want to say positive, but a lot of, and which is kind of what's hindered us from going to the drive-in, is that a lot of people are saying the audio mix it's a little hard to hear, and that is not a movie that I'm willing to sacrifice to be missing out on any sort of important dialogue, which is probably every single word of the film.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sit there and be like, wait, so what? I'm so confused, and that's frustrating to go to a movie where you can't rewind. So we're still kind of waiting to see the movie.
And that's what all of these studios were doing. They were waiting for someone to go out and test the waters. They saw that it didn't work, and they're like, okay, we're now pulling everything back. And that's all it really took, was someone to try and test it out to see what was going to happen.
Yes.
And that's what we were all waiting for. Okay, well, which studio is going to bring out their first big tentpole movie out into the theaters while, you know, the US is still pretty much on lockdown, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So they found out, everyone's like, okay, take a few steps back, and now we'll wait again. So now we just have to wait for someone else to come out and try and test the waters, maybe in a few months, maybe sometime in November, see how they do. And if that works, then they'll bring out.
Yeah, it's a wait and see. It's a wait. All of 2020 is basically a wait and see. And I enjoy Adam's comment here. Adam says, honestly, I'd much rather a completed film gets pushed back rather than a film getting released in limited capacity to diminishing returns. Looking at you, Tenet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Diminishing returns, or diminishing returns, or what is it called? When they had higher expectations for it, kind of a thing. So yeah, I mean. And that stinks because, Tenet is always going to have that kind of wound on them because... Which
is so sad. Like, just looks so, like, the trailer is so intriguing. Just the cinematography looks fantastic. And I'm, like, dying to kind of dive into it. But I'm so worried about the drive-in. Obviously, the audio won't be the same as in a regular theater setting where you have the nice surround sound. So I guess, we'll make the sacrifice and wait. We'll just wait until we feel like one day we're not patient anymore. We'll just go and book a couple of tickets at the drive-in.
Yep. But fortunately, we still got some good stuff coming out to live streams as well. So we're still going to get a lot of really cool stuff on Netflix, on Disney Plus, and we're also going to get some other what's our next? I was way off. I was trying to cue it up, and I was like, wait, because it's coming to HBO.
HBO.
That's what I was leaning towards, was the fact that Peacemaker series is coming to HBO.
Yes. So we basically just learned that Peacemaker is going to be in Suicide Squad during the panel at DC Fandom. And when they were introduced, I was like, John Cena, Peacemaker, awesome. The movie's not even out yet. And HBO was like, yes, we will order a season of Peacemaker. James Gunn, I believe, is executive producing. I think he's directing a few episodes. He's writing as well. There's an article on Deadline about it, which is really exciting. And they also put up this really, really awesome kind of it's the Peacemaker. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta hide the banner so you guys can see. Only on HBO Max.
It really makes me happy. And also look forward to Suicide Squad more. The fact that they saw the rough edits, they've seen the unfinished product of Suicide Squad and going, oh my gosh, this is great.
Yep.
We need to bring this to a television. We need to bring this to streaming.
Yes.
Because this is just great material.
Yes.
So it makes me excited to now I really want to see James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
I know.
And I want to see what is he? He described Peacemaker as the douchebag version of Captain America.
Yeah, and they have a really funny quote in here too. I'm gonna try to find it. Here in the article. I don't have it highlighted.
Yeah, this article came from Deadline.
Yes. So you keep talking while I try to look for it.
But the whole thing is that anytime you start hearing a studio or different heads of the studio going, yeah, you know what? We want more of this. We want to start putting this together because we have such faith in what this product is.
I found it.
Then it's kind of like, great. Then I want to. Now you want to see that original project even more.
Yes, and this is a quote from James Gunn in the article. He says, "quote Peacemaker is an opportunity to delve into the current world issues through the lens of this superhero / supervillain / in the world's biggest douchebag." I am excited to expand the Suicide Squad and bring this character from the DC film universe to the full breadth of a series. So a lot of people are wondering, because now he is getting a series, that means he survives, right? I don't think that's necessarily true because, obviously, Cassian's getting a series and he didn't survive after Rogue One. So,
spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen it, you should know if you watch, if you know Star Wars, none of these people have existed past that. They're not even mentioned technically in any of the newer movies. But anyways, so yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that he survives. Does he have a better chance than some of the other people? Sure, maybe, but it's Suicide Squad, so we don't know. It's kind of like roll the dice on all of these characters and see maybe they live, maybe they don't.
I'm excited to see King Shark. He was really cool. It would be cool if they came out with a King Shark show on HBO or something.
Huh?
King Shark.
Oh,
because there's that scene from the trailer to where he just has that one guy and he's like, and just rips him in half.
Yep.
And I'm just like, whoa.
Yep. I would watch it. So this is really exciting news, and it gets me even more excited for James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Like already the panel, I was eating it up. I was like, yes, this is amazing, especially when they got into trivia. And that's when, when people get competitive, they kind of, because you're so focused on that like question, you're trying to like win, like go team go. You kind of forget about being on camera and like being this presentation. You're just kind of like, wait, what? Hold on.
Like, gotta win.
So that raw chemistry really came through, I feel like. And just kind of like the banter between cast members seemed like a lot of fun, which is all I want to see in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and which is what I want to see, in the movie. I can't wait. I mean, that's just one of the parts that you're like, this has to work.
Yeah.
Is the chemistry between all of these bizarre supervillains.
Characters, exactly. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our main topics. The first one being, let's talk about Xbox Series X and the PS5 pre-sale. And during the pre-sale period for Xbox Series X, people saw a spike in Xbox One X, which I know I'm confusing myself. I have to say it really slowly. So let's go ahead and see what notes I have. So basically, it might not be because like the sales spike because they meant to buy the Xbox One X, but it might be because they were ordering it and they thought that it was the Series X. So big oops. And it was yesterday, September 22nd, during the pre-sale this happened. The Amazon saw at one point up to 748% on the movers and shakers sales chart. It could be human errors. It could also be bots. You know how like people buy, and they resell at high price. We know them, like the resellers. Oh yeah. And it could be that they didn't program the bots correctly, and they just kind of search because there's so many. There's 3 X's in the name: Xbox Series X or Xbox One X.
So I can see that could be if you didn't program it right. Yeah, you just went out and bought a whole bunch of the wrong console.
Whoopsie daisy.
And you know what? If that was what happened,
if it is, yeah,
I'm gonna laugh so hard at the people who just ended up spending a whole bunch of money expecting to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hoard all this stuff for myself, and then jack up the price.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, it bugs me when people do that. All of the limited stuff at Disney. And then people come out and just try to buy all of it.
They don't even want it. They just wanted to take that, resell it for 3 times the price. And it sucks because there's fans out who really like if they're having, a hard time in this pandemic. And if this one piece of merchandise brightens their day, even just a little bit, and they now can't get it because the person in front of them created bots and bought 20.
And if we didn't learn anything from toilet paper, paper towels, and hand sanitizer, hoarding is wrong.
Is not the resolution. So as far as the Xbox Series X goes, it looks like all major retailers at this point have sold out during this wave of the pre-order. Xbox also tweeted out that there will be more consoles available come November 10th. So everybody who is wanting to get that, November 10th is the date to keep in mind. I, for one, am kind of glad that we right now don't have like enough finances to invest in a PS5 or the Series X, because the pre-orders for both consoles makes Black Friday seem like a breeze. Yeah, right. The PlayStation pre-order, the PS5, was really frustrating for a lot of consumers. I know websites crash, which is sometimes to be expected for pre-order. But a lot of people who even got a confirmation with their pre-order, specifically with Amazon, were also later emailed that they would have to like maybe wait and not get the console on launch day. Oh, and I was like, wait, what? That's the whole point of pre-ordering.
That's the whole point. Yeah. That's the whole reason why you go through all the hassle of waking up early, getting online, trying to be like, okay, here we go. It's gonna launch in 3, 2. Okay, you have to and try to order it in time. And then
I didn't even try.
Didn't get it.
I didn't even try. I didn't even log onto the websites to see because I didn't want to mess with the traffic for the people who really want to try to get it. So, but yeah, they sold out pretty quickly. I believe both are sold out. I know I think Sony or PlayStation, somebody had to like do a public apology for just the launch of the pre-order. It was pretty
and you think
messy.
They would have had that like kind of planned out ahead of time, going, okay, there's definitely no one going into a store to pre-order this. Right. Everybody is going to be getting this online. So we need to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row, that our servers can handle a certain level, that it's very simple and straightforward, or else we're going to have chaos. And they did.
Yeah. So let us know, you guys, in the comment section or in the chat if you're watching this live with us. Let us know if you attempted to pre-order a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. And if you were successful, if so, congratulations. If not, I believe you will get another try in November, on November 10th for Xbox. And then I'm not sure when the next
I can guarantee you that around
holiday time.
Well, around Black Friday. They're going to have tons and tons more. I doubt that Black Friday is going to be weird this year. So I'm pretty sure there's still going to be.
You think people are lined up to go?
I don't know.
They might. But then the stores would have to limit how many people go in at once in order to keep up with the COVID compliance, like health compliance and stuff like that. And
not just open the doors and stampede.
Yeah, which luckily in our experience, Black Friday has never. And once I experienced that, but it wasn't with you, and it wasn't at Target, which is normally where we go. I think it was at a Best Buy. Yeah. And it was insane.
Walmart and Best Buy are the two worst places to go for.
I never went into a Best Buy during a Black Friday ever again because I was like, I am not okay with this.
Yeah, we did Target. And I have to admit, Target, the couple of times that we did Target for Black Friday, it was pretty smooth and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we didn't get mobbed. We didn't have to we didn't get trampled. So, win-win. And we got some pretty good deals.
We got some pretty good deals, which is less than I can say for this pre-order.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did not have their shit together.
Nope. All right, you guys, moving on to our next topic. We're talking about WandaVision trailer. And what a great trailer. I really, really liked seeing it because we only got a little bit of like a sneak peek during the Super Bowl last year when they dropped a little bit of that. It was not what I had in mind at all. I don't even know what I was thinking the show would be. So I was really curious about it. When they dropped the trailer, I was like, oh man, I am so intrigued. They're living in this like alternate reality and they're living through various, TV sitcoms through different decades from black and white to Technicolor. And in this latest trailer, we were introduced to, if you have the subtitles or the closed captions turned on when you're watching the trailer, Catherine Hahn's character, when she spoke, the subtitle came up for her as Agnes. Fans are speculating that she is actually going to be playing Agatha Harkness. So if you take the AG in Agatha and the Ness in Harkness and drop the final S, that is Agnes. So that's a good cover. And I think the fans, obviously, I think they're onto something here because it makes sense. Agatha Harkness, plays a key role in Wanda's life, being a mentor in her use of magic. So that's cool, exciting.
Because honestly, I would not have known who she was, because I don't have very much background knowledge or history on Scarlet Witch. But I do know a little bit from her because I have read House of M, which is an amazing comic book series. But to find out more, especially when you see a trailer like this and you're like, who is she? What's going on? What are the fan theories? You can hop online and start getting all of these cool ideas and all of these, hey, it's probably this person. But House of M, I loved it. I love the fact that they're going to be expanding more and more of Scarlet Witch's story. And it looks like it's going to be a mix of magic and technology and stuck in like a sort of purgatory.
Ooh,
kind of a
purgatory.
thing.
Yeah.
And I just want to see what they decide to go with and how to make Vision still alive, or
Wanda's mind.
In Wanda's mind. Maybe that's what it is, because Wanda does have reality changing powers. Maybe it's the fact that she loves Vision so much that she's unconsciously bringing him back to life, kind of a thing, because she was able to snap a whole bunch of people out of existence. She was able to. So I am very excited to see how they handle Scarlet Witch's powers, because they are insane.
I love the part where she's sitting on the couch and she's kind of like toying with her power and realizing she can change everything that she's kind of all the items in the room that she was sitting in, which is something I love, because we didn't get to explore her too much in the Avengers movies because there's so many characters to focus on that we only got snippets of her. So it's a trippy trailer. I loved it, especially the part where I think the top moment for me in that trailer was when Vision kind of came in contact with Agatha or Agnes. And she was like, you know, and of course, appropriately, she's in like a witch's outfit. I think it's like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, just like a little.
They have Vision in his Halloween costume and like the traditional,
and Wanda
as well in her little traditional comic book outfits. So I'm excited for those episodes. I can't wait to see this whole show. I'm so happy that we're getting this in 2020.
Yes, that we don't have to wait until it's not getting pushed back. Like some other things, but yeah, there are still. I'm still happy that we're getting Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah,
we're still getting WandaVision. It's at least 2020 hasn't been a complete failure. We're still able to get some of the stuff we were hoping to get this year. So bring it, Disney Plus.
Bring it on. Also, we got to see Monica Rambeau.
Yes.
Yeah, for like a quick second, she's kind of like jolted into. She got flung across reality, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. She went from one reality to another.
She broke either that or she broke the sound barrier.
And I'm curious on how she got in there too.
Wanda.
Because Wanda never had any contact, from what we've seen, at least in the Marvel movies, with the Avengers, with I'm sorry, Monica Rambeau.
Monica
didn't have any contact with the Avengers that we have seen. That because we've seen her with Captain Marvel, but we haven't gotten to see her with
different timelines then?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this show is going to play a lot with reality and time, which is going to be really interesting.
It's going to be a total mind mess.
We can't wait. And you guys, on to our final topic for today. So Netflix cancels Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, which means we are only left with that first season, the only season. There's no season 2. And we are so far away from where season 1 ended to where the 1982 film picks up. So there's a lot of stories untold. I would have loved to see what happened with Deet, because she's got that like darkness to her now. And it's really quite a bummer because they literally just won an Emmy for Outstanding Children's Program. So then Netflix is like, hey, sorry, we're not going to do another season. I understand that maybe they're looking at, and I don't know this as a fact, I'm thinking they're seeing this as maybe not as many people watched it. So the download, rate doesn't compare to what they were having to pay, because there's a lot of people in that production.
Yeah.
Some of those puppets takes 2 people to operate just within the puppet itself, plus the people that are doing the facial features. Maybe there's somebody else doing this. So basically, there's a lot of hands on deck for this series. It's a very extravagant, beautiful set, immersive storytelling, really fantastic show. And maybe Netflix decided that like, hey, like we can't move forward with the season 2, and they decided to cancel it, which is so sad to me.
Yeah. A part of me is kind of like, okay, fine. Since obviously dealing with the puppets, I mean, that was amazing what they did. A part of me is almost like, okay, fine. If you don't want to do the puppets, you don't want to spend that much money in it, do an animation version.
Well, then that would be, don't you think that they would have been them going back on why they did it with puppets in the first place? Because when the Hanson Company pitched them to Netflix, they originally pitched the animated version.
Yeah.
And then Netflix is like, hey, we love this. This is so great. Let's do it with puppets. So Netflix, and I'm thankful that they greenlit that and they gave us that, because it's so fantastic to see, especially with how updated all the puppetry technology is today in comparison to the original. There's a lot more they can do with today's puppets than they could obviously back in the original film, but they still kept that same consistency where you're kind of like, it's updated, but it doesn't look so updated that it's too far removed from the original, because technically the show is a prequel.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. I mean, the problem is, I'm guessing that's one of the main reasons why they canceled it, was because doing the puppets and all of, they can do it. It's just the fact that it takes a lot of time, money, and effort. So to make it a little bit more profitable for them, I still just want to hear the story.
I just want to hear the story too.
So I would be a little disappointed, but if they're like, hey, there's still a lot of people that want to see this, to make it so we can get you guys more than just a season 2 or a season 3, we can actually do it in an animated format.
Yeah.
And I think what they were playing with the way of having some animation and some puppetry. And I don't think that's the way to go. Either go full puppets or go full animation, because it is just a little too, it was a little too weird having them side by side. I saw some of the test footage and I was like, nah, not working for me.
What I'm hoping, because they do have the sets and they have the puppets, and I don't know how IPs in this way works, as in, because Netflix bought the show, so the sets and the puppets and everything belong to Netflix, or they belong to the Jim Henson Company because it's their right and their IP.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how all that works, but let's say for argument's sake that the Jim Henson Company acquires the set and the puppets and everything that has to do with Joe, because basically it's canceled. They get to have it. They could shop it to another distribution company, another production company. They could shop it to Disney Plus.
Oh,
Disney Plus already works with the Jim Henson Company, with
that is true.
With Muppets Now, with what's the alien? Ned, Earth to Ned.
Earth to Ned.
Yeah, those are Jim Henson puppets. So I don't see why this could be like one of their premium programs. Not saying like that it would cost the viewers, the subscribers extra, just that, you know, they could take the time, you know, it wouldn't probably come out until 2023 or 2024. And I'd be okay with that. Just give us one more season. If you know that like you can only afford to do one more season, where would you go to kind of tie up all the loose ends and get us as close as you can to where the movie is? Because there's so much to explore with all the different Gelfling, the tribes.
And the fact that, you know, if you've seen the movie, all of them get wiped out.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least they appear to all be wiped out.
Yes.
So I'm wondering where they were going with that, because obviously they had a story to go with it. But anyways, it sounds like for right now, we're not going to get it.
We're not going to get it for now, but fingers crossed that something miraculous happens for the Dark Crystal series, because we love it. We love it so much. And I would love to see at least one more season to get us a little bit closer to where the movie would have picked up. Thank you to Marvin Martin for your super chat. He writes, at least we know how it ultimately ends, which is more than a lot of stories do, which is true.
No, that is very true. There are a lot of shows that just got canceled mid-season. There's I know it's a little bit of a, no, it was from here.
Oh, okay. Something fell. I was like, what?
What is that? What happened? And we just don't get any kind of closure with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least this was kind of a prequel. So we just don't have the middle story. We know what happened at the beginning and we know what happened at the end.
I guess it's like a nice, you know, look how they started.
And if you want, there's actually a comic book out there that's really good. Really good. That kind of tells you the entire story.
Yeah. Well, you guys, that's it for, I know it's a shorter stream today, but that is it for all of our topics. Great conversation. Thank all of you for hanging out, watching. And just a reminder, again, we won't be able to stream on Saturday, so we will be back. We will be back the following Wednesday on another live stream. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And while you're here and you're watching the stream, thumbs up this video. It helps us out a lot in this YouTube space of things. We will have a couple of new trailer reactions coming out. We will have a couple of reviews coming out. Lovecraft Country spoiler review for episode 6 will be coming very, very soon. So thank all of you guys for watching, both here on YouTube and on Twitch. I will remember to turn on Twitch on my desktop next time so I can moderate. So I apologize for the super annoying bots in the comment section. Thank you so much, you guys. We will see you in the next one. Bye. Take care of yourselves.